All right, so this is going to be a reading based on the pentagram here. It's been a little while since I've been on here, and yeah, I've been working with a friend of mine, actually doing some kind of physical labor, and it's been good. It's been keeping me busy and away from this sort of activity, but day off today, and yeah, so just coming on here with a bit of a reading that's just been kind of prompted, and you know, there's been some just downloads coming in too, especially regarding this whole idea of illusion, right? We're at a time right now where we have and are, or already, depending on, you know, where you're at, are finishing out a pretty big cycle, an energetic cycle, if you will, and this relates to the pentagram, right? You know, and this is not definitive, right? Nothing's definitive. We're working with things, and we're seeing how things play out. And we're giving ourselves permission to work with energies, and this is how things like magic should be thought of. Things like the pentagram should be thought of. It's a tool. It's a way of understanding. It's a way of accessing. But the top of the star is fire, from this perspective that I'm working with today. Okay, fire. We have water. We have air. And we have earth, 2 points of earth. The fire's coming down. It must negotiate the water and the air, and then it grounds. It grounds into something stable, right? So we get 2 earth, we get 1 fire, we get sort of a splitting, water and air that must be negotiated, and then we get something down here stable. So I'm going to be pulling cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot. And what I'm being given is that this is very intentional in terms of like pulling out what's kind of going on behind the scenes in a certain wildness, if you will. And if you've watched many of my videos in the last, you know, well, basically this year, you know, I spend typically a lot of time out in wild areas, as wild as I can access at the moment, which hasn't been much lately, since a camping trip in August, but of late, and yeah, hearing I definitely need to get to some of my haunts, if you will, but right now there's a need to access that, to tap into that. And then I'll be pulling a second set of cards from the Baroque Tarot, so we'll get kind of a background, if you will, and then sort of a forward-looking aspect to the energies that want to come out here. So we'll just kind of see where this goes. I'm going to do some shuffling as I continue to talk about, oh yes, so illusion. And I've spoken on this before. The illusion is that this is an illusion. You know, you hear a lot of people in spiritual community, you'll hear people working with magic, with certain spiritual traditions, and in my opinion, in my experience, there's a big misunderstanding that this is all an illusion. You have to see through the matrix that it's only an illusion. It's only an illusion. And the illusion is that it's an illusion. The illusion is that you're not doing anything here. The illusion is that this doesn't matter. So therefore, lose yourself in some kind of otherness, some kind of out there-ness that doesn't ground into actual life here on the 3D, 4D plane of what we can see and perceive as human beings. And what we do then is we miss the impact we can have on this 3D, 4D plane as human beings, which is special. it's special. There are things we can do here in these bodies, in these lives, that Son of Pentacles coming out. So the equivalent of the Prince of Pentacles, or yeah, I would say the Prince of Pentacles. So air and earth, and moon energy here as well. A very fiery moon energy, perhaps, or even the energy of eclipse, of a solar eclipse, depending on how we look. That's all coming out here. A lot of deer energy, stag energy, the horned one, antlers, antlered beings of late. So in any case, and that's important because there's a level of initiation that's been happening for many of us over the past couple of years, and that can be kind of personified, if you will, in the figure of the fawn growing, becoming adult, and you know, for the male fawn to grow that first set of antlers, right? To sort of realize, oh, this is what I am. And there's a process there of realization, of self-realization, of realization of power. And it's really important that came out in the Pentacles. So again, the earth energy, this is about groundedness. So already that energy is coming out here. Ooh. That card maybe wanted to speak. Don't know what it was, but I'm guessing it will come out. I'm getting a sense of actually what it was. And we'll see if that card comes out. Let's see, general energy here. I'm going to split the deck. All right. And actually, so Mother of Cups, Queen of Cups, if you will, in this deck, and the Two of Wands coming out. So Mother of Cups, Two of Wands, Water of Water, and again, initiation. There's a sense here of seeing with the heart, and this has been coming out in the last day or two. The need to see with the heart, not just with the mind. For me, the Two of Wands speaks of initiation. The two wands are always set in the earth, and we walk a path between them. And this also speaks of non-duality, and this gets back to this whole idea of illusion. See, the reason I love versions of the smiling Buddha, because if you understand what the Buddha is smiling at least in my experience, the Buddha is smiling at the idea that this was an illusion all along. But the Buddha transcends that and realizes that the illusion of everything being an illusion was an illusion. And there's a further transcendence, right? There's further to go. This is not all an illusion. There are things we are doing. Can you understand what you are doing? Can you perceive something deeper going on? Can you see the fire of spirit moving through everything? Through all the terror, the agony, the pain, also the ecstasy, the eating that we do, the consuming that we do, right? That it's more than just, you know, mindless consumption, right? That there's more to it than that. So again, mindfulness, but a mindfulness of the heart. So we're thinking of the heart-mind here. The heart-mind connection. There's no swords energy here. There's no air energy here. It's water. and it's fire. Sometimes the swords get in our way, the air gets in our way, the thoughts get in our way, the need to figure everything out. All right, so that's coming out here. Let's see. I shuffle until the cards tell me they are ready to speak. So until then, I'll keep talking. But yes, so Four of Swords comes out, and here we get solar energy, solar lamb. This is Christ consciousness. The Four of Swords is a stable energy. In the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot, of course, the Four of Swords is the warrior at rest. Is the warrior dead? Is the warrior just resting? The warrior's holding a sword, typically, in that warrior repose, if you will. Here we get that in a lamb, just so complete gentleness. Even if there was an ability to do harm, there's certainly no intent here, and the solar energy here is right at the lamb's third eye. So this again speaks of the heart mind. This Four of Swords card is all about the heart-mind connection. It's about moving beyond just swords as individual thoughts, right? That kind of war with each other, right? We get storminess sometimes with swords energy. And here we get this repose, this being okay with the universe. Again, this is, I mean, you can almost see this as a palimpsest or superimposed over a smiling Buddha, right? Like, I'm seeing something different, something beyond, something. The illusion beyond the illusion is not, there is no illusion. The illusion is not an illusion. First, we perceive this reality as illusion. That is a step. It totally is a step. And if that's where you're at, that's where you're at. And there's nothing wrong with that. But understand there's a further step. And there's further steps beyond those steps. There's this sense of people having achieved, or I'm a ascended master and these types of things in this life. And in a moment, any of us can be brought to our knees. In a moment, any of us can be brought to a position where are we going to react like this? Are we going to be this even in that moment? Other card wants to speak here. What's on the bottom of the deck? Temperance. This has been coming up as well. Balance. The balancing of the fire and the water. This has been coming up this morning. Raw fire, raw spirit can be too much for us in this life. There's a sense of needing to gentle it, and the water is how we do this. Temperance. We need a mixture of energies. So there's very much a sense here. If we look at our pentagram, there's very much a sense here already of fire coming down, being gentled in the water, and of the air energy standing by, just watching, just being okay with what's going on, of having reached a point of this heart-mind connection. There's a sense here of something sitting right in the middle, an awareness of being that is just so okay with being itself that we can watch everything playing out and be okay with it. And that lets us down into the earth energy, right? To ground things into place. Okay, so that's all coming out here. I think we're very close here to pulling some cards to leave out on the table. Okay, cut the deck, and so starting with fire energy. At the fire energy, Daughter of Cups, so Princess of Cups. This is Earth of Water, and Rainbow energy has been coming out as well. This deck has a lot of such imagery. Yeah, there's a sense here of, again, this is pulling us down into the earth energy. Daughter energy is princess energy, is earth energy, and it's coming down on this side with the water energy from the fire. Fire is ready to come down, and it's coming down through this water energy. It's coming down through the heart energy, the heart space. Let's see what's in the water energy. We have the Chariot, and the Chariot often speaks of balance here. This Chariot card is different. You can see it. This Chariot card has solar and lunar energy, and look at the bottom, the pentacles. The pentacles are about bringing the energy down and locking it into some kind of stable form. That's what it's about. That's what the pentacle's for. That's what the pentagram is for. It's not about money. It's about bringing stable structures down into place. Structures that can stay in this life, in this 3D, 4D space. So we have solar energy, which we might obviously, I think, associate with this Daughter of Cups energy in the fire energy coming down. And there's a sense of mystery here with this crescent moon at the third eye. Again, a sense of movement, a sense of maybe not knowing where we're moving exactly, which really resonates with me right now. We're in a space, and we'll see if the card comes out for this that I associate with this. We're in a space right now of following, of moving almost instinctually, of trusting the healing that we've done, and seeing ourselves as this being who can move forward and do things. And almost whatever we do is fine once we're in that space, right? We're in the space of solace. And the important thing is about the balance. The fire and the water, the sun and the moon. There's a balancing here. This is like the Temperance card, but it's a moving Temperance card, right? Let's see what we get for the air energy. More water. 4 of Cups. Exactly. This is the air of the mind giving way to the heart mind, saying, yeah, we're gonna feel okay with that. We have, I mean, it looks like a rat. Could be a mouse, but those cups would tell me that it's, just by the size of it, tells me it's a rat. And the rat we can kind of associate with using what's there, right? Being where you are, being resourceful with what you have, a certain kind of being in the moment, and the moments change constantly, and we are rats in a healthy state, if you will. And we don't often associate rats with health in Western culture, right? We think of it as something bad, right? A rat is bad. is a negative aspect. But here, there's a certain amount of sociability implied by this, I think. It's Four of Cups, so it's stable relationships. And again, there's mystery here. We have this crescent moon. It's water energy, but there's mystery to it. There's something about the stable relationships around us that we've built, that we've inhabited, that are ready for things. There's a readiness here. And you can kind of see this in the rat and the rat's stance here. The rat is on the cups are stable, the rat is stable, but there's a sense that this rat's not going to be here much longer, right? The rat's ready to move. And this again is in the air energy. So there's no real air here in the air energy. It's all water, and it's stable, and it's trusting. There's a silencing of the mind right now, which isn't to say that the mind can't do things. In fact, it's the opposite. The mind is ready. The mind is ready to work, to be, to create, to do stuff, to go places. All right. So now 2 cards in the earth energy. I'm just going to pull them both. And we get more cups energy. And we get pentacles energy. So the 4 of cups here turns into the 5 of cups, and notice we get the horse. This horse is tired. This horse is maybe a little bit mournful, has been through a lot, and I think this does echo with where we're really at, right? I think for a lot of us, there's some weariness, there's some tiredness. We've done a lot, and maybe we feel like we aren't seeing things ground in the way that we had hoped. But we also get the 9. Just realized I think I've been holding these cards all sideways to what the camera will be. Apologies for that. We get this 9 of pentacles, and I love that there's feathers around these pentacles. These pentacles are nested, they're saved up. What we don't see is we've been saving up resources, we've been building something, we've been pulling down structures, we've been nesting, we've been making things. We just don't see it yet. A nest can tend to hide things. Feathers hide things, right? Feathers hide the bird body beneath them. Protect it. There's protective energy here. So there's a lot of hope in this particular 9 of pentacles. Again, this isn't necessarily about money. It's about structures that we've been building, we've been putting in place. At the bottom of the deck, this has been coming up. 8 of Wands, swiftness. There's a lightning strike here. The lightning strike is following, if you see, this is root chakra to the sacral, the navel, to the solar plexus. So we go red, orange, yellow, to green, the heart space. So there's something about preparing the heart for things here, and that making us ready for something to happen quickly. Things are about to go quickly. Seeing this in a lot of the energy just coming out everywhere right now. All right, let's move on to our second deck. So for this deck, we're looking at sort of projecting forward from this, what we've already got on the table. What we need to look for, what we need to be aware of, ready for, and so on. So, and a lot of energy in these cards right now. There's, yeah, I feel like these cards want to go all over the place. So if they do, they do. So while I'm shuffling, I do appreciate, you know, liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing. And yeah, as a few videos ago indicated, really kind of just at the whim of spirit right now with this channel, what I'm doing with it. So I'm very much in this energy. Whoops, I'm ready to go. But you know, as time allows, as I'm drawn to it, that's where I'm at. And there's plenty of other things going on. All right, these cards are about ready. They're saying they're stable. Let's look at some general energy from these cards. Five of Wands and the Hermit. So I think the leaping off point from this place. Five of Wands, a lot of people, you know, this is the strife card, but I generally read this card as an energy of picking your battle, and that's more actually the Seven of Wands when you're really picking. With the Five of Wands, it's more about, you know, this is, you know, not my monkeys, not my circus. This is, you know, these aren't my battles. It's moving on from struggle and strife that isn't mine. I'm not doing that. I'm not wasting my energy on this. It's the fire of spirit saying, I'm not interested in grounding this. I'm not interested in staying here. I'm gonna take my staff and leave you all with yours, and you can keep fighting if you want. And you know, maybe me taking my staff, you know, leaves you in a Four of Wands, and you're more stable without me, and I move on to something else. And of course, this leads, you know, next to the Six of Wands, which is a sense of getting somewhere, of success, of you know, a more stable position. And then we have the Hermit, and this particular Hermit is moving, which I think is interesting. Sometimes the Hermit energy comes out and it's more like it's looking ahead, or it's kind of sitting in a space, and it's, you know, maybe doesn't feel so in motion. But for a Hermit, this Hermit's moving. This Hermit's walking forward. And this is the more traditional Rider's Waite-Smith Hermit, I would say too. But the Hermit also speaks of grounding. I think sometimes this gets missed. I mean, you know, we think of hermiting and of, you know, being by ourselves and being alone and this type of thing. But the Hermit is looking ahead. The Hermit is saying, okay, what does the light show me of the ground right around me? Right? What am I bringing in here? What am I putting in place? So it's very much the Pentacles energy. It's very much a Virgo kind of energy, and we are in Virgo season right now, and I think that's very important for this moment, that energy. We're in Virgo season. The moon is in Virgo. We've got a new moon in Virgo right now, just finishing that up. So all that energy is in this card. This is very much speaking to where we're at. So it's a sense of, okay, you've been doing things. Like the Hermit isn't someone who sits and doesn't do anything. Even if they seem inactive, they're doing something. They're preparing. They're looking around them and preparing for next steps and so on. And they're aware of the light and what light they have and the path before them. So it's all very good energy here. Today, I'm not surprised at all. I feel like, you know, I could have gone through the decks and just pulled out these cards, and these would have been the cards I had pulled out. Some of them, maybe not all of them. I might have picked the Temperance instead of the Chariot, so I think that's interesting, right? So we've got, again, the sense of movement here, a sense of we've got the Temperance already, even though the sequence doesn't go that way in terms of numbers in the tarot. Okay. So let's look for some. Okay, yep, no. We're getting there. We're getting there. Good. Okay. So, fire energy here. We have the sun. Golden sunlight energy. The sun has been very intense again. I often talk about Stefan Burns and his channel, looking at the solar energy, how it impacts the Earth and the Schumann resonance, and you know how this relates to earthquakes. This is all, you know. If you haven't watched some of his videos, I recommend them, because this is actual stuff. And this is real energy we're working in. Again, the illusion is that it's an illusion. The illusion is that it's not real. The illusion is that you can't affect things with your life. The illusion is that your life doesn't matter here. That's the illusion. The matrix, so to speak, that we need to see beyond is this idea that none of this matters. That you can't do anything. That there's already too many structures in place for you to do anything. So just eat, drink, and be merry. Tomorrow you die, right? That's the illusion. Whereas the sun tells you, hey, you can plant a seed and something's going to sprout, and the sun's here and it's going to let it grow, right? It's going to feed it energy. And then you'll have something growing in the earth, and it will be there, and you can harvest from it. You can do things with it. You can grow a tree and you can harvest the tree and build a house with your tree, right? Something with house building here, evidently. We're building our houses right now. So that goes over the Daughter of Cups energy, not over, but with the Daughter of Cups. So again, earth of water, and now adding an intensity to that, sunshine. For water energy, now we get air. This is so interesting. We're flip-flopping now. The Fool is air energy. The Fool partakes of all the energies. All four energies are in the Fool, but particularly the Fool is an air energy. But the interesting thing is the Fool is kind of like the empty mind air energy, right? It's the air energy that's sort of vacuous. It's ready to be filled. It's ready to go and see and do new things. There's space in the Fool energy for other things to come in, for the fire to come in, for the water to come in. The air energy isn't taking over in the Fool card, right? That's the key. The Fool's ready to go and to be sort of blown wherever, but not to be controlled, right? Almost the opposite of the sense of the Devil card, where all the strings are attached and there's nothing you can do because you're all tied up. And that's only one aspect of the Devil card. The other aspect is creation itself, knowing how things are tied together and therefore being able to create because you know how everything connects. You know the structures. The Fool doesn't yet know the structures. He needs to get to the Devil energy, actually. But he's moving. He's on his way. And this goes right over this chariot, which is partaking of the sun, the moon in this case, and the solar energy. It's moving along the ground, right? We're moving along the ground. And so this all goes together. There's impetus here. The sun, you know, the sun controls the weather too. It controls the air energy in that way. And we can trace a wind back to the sun. If we could really model how physical reality works, right? We can always trace a particular wind back to the sun beaming down somewhere, heating things up, and things start to move. And this Fool is moving. What else do we have of the incredible in the air energy? We have Ace of Cups. We have water energy again in the air. And again, we talked about stable relationships with this Four of Cups. Here, the Ace of Cups speaks of having everything you need in an enabling way. it's almost like we've skipped from the Four of Cups all the way up through the Ten of Cups, and now we're rolling over the speedometer, if you will, to the Ace of Cups, to the next level up on the spiral. We're so in tune. Our mind energy is so ready to just be and to observe and be with life. Our thoughts are so kind of captured in a good way, right? That this Ace of Cups, and yeah, there's even the sense of a 10 here on this Ace of Cups, on the cup, if you will. It speaks of the spiral upward. This is heart mind. This is peace with whatever happens. This isn't absence of emotion, it's fullness of emotion. It's readiness to go through the emotions that are about to happen, no matter what happens. So again, it's a sense of having progressed. Very interesting. Now 2 cards for the earth energy to finish this out. The Hermit comes out again, and we have the Four of Swords. So what are we grounding into place? That's interesting. I wasn't expecting this. It's not what I would have expected, which is why we do a reading like this. What is this saying to us about what we're grounding in? The Four of Swords. So we're grounding in this sense of the warrior at repose, the warrior who's lying with their back on the ground, looking up. The light streaming in through the window. The swords are at rest, but ready. The swords are ready. This warrior's ready to get back up if he needs to. But he's not currently at war. He's currently in repose, resting, gathering strength, meditating. With the Four of Swords also, for me, this is a card of third eye energy. I know it's a 4 on the it's a 4 on the cover, but third eye energy, because there's a sense here of the warrior laying down, closing eyes, and the third eye opens. And what does the warrior see, right? In this moment of repose, perhaps in dream. I think look to your dreams. Look to our dreams. What's happening in our dreams? I mean, there are clues there. There's work being done there. This warrior is doing work, but it's in the other realm, so to speak. It's in the dream realm. It's in the realm of spirit, which again is not separate from our realm. That is the illusion, is that it's separate. It is not. The illusion is that you're not working when you're not working, when in fact you are working when you're not working. This warrior is working, is doing stuff. So there's a sense of staying here, of having grounded this into place, and this being a mode of being at this point. And this has come over the Five of Cups here, where the horse is maybe a little bit down, a little bit under the weather, a little bit disappointed. And that is the Five of Cups, is the card of disappointment. That's probably its main keyword is the word disappointment. There's a sense here of having moved beyond that. And it's so interesting how, again, the water and the air energy interplay with each other, right? Sometimes the water energy gets us down, and we need that air energy of, you know what, I can just sit in this and I can go to sleep, so to speak. I can lay down and I can be in my Four of Swords energy for a while. And that somehow gets us through. That somehow gets us to a new space, a new stability. The Five of Cups doesn't take over. right? It doesn't take over. And then again, I think there's a sense here, and this came over the 9 of Pentacles, so there's a sense of readiness to see the pentacles that have been hidden in the nest. And the hermit knows where those pentacles are. The hermit knows. The hermit's light is lit. The lamp is lit. The path is there. The hermit is moving towards these pentacles. And again, this is further grounding, further putting structures into place in the sense of earth energy. Could be, you know, money, but it doesn't have to be, right? It's structures, stability, stable structures. Or even if not stable structures, really powerful structures. That the 9 of Pentacles being a 9 does speak of some instability, right? These pentacles aren't going to stay in the nest. It's like eggs, and they're going to hatch, and, you know, mama and papa, you know, bird are going to have to kick the young ones out of the nest at some point, and they're going to go abroad, and they're going to do their own hermiting to find their own ways. There's a sense of expansion here, a sense of having gathered up and now being ready for something new. What do we have here on the bottom of the deck? More water energy, the Hanged Man. Water energy, I would say the Hanged Man also partakes of the air energy. The Hanged Man really partakes of all the energies. It's a 12, divisible by 4. All 4 energies are here. If you divide the 12 by 4, you get 3. So it's, the Hanged Man is emphasizing perhaps 3 energies more than others. Definitely the water energy is emphasized usually in the Hanged Man. But here I'm not getting that. I'm getting air. The Hanged Man is hanging in space, in air. Is upside down, so, you know, is seeing things differently. The Sword's energy is the thoughts are different from this vantage. Perhaps there's a sense of the heart mind as well. The blood is rushing to the head. The heart is in the mind, so to speak. We sometimes say that our heart's in our stomach, right? Or this type of thing. Here with the Hanged Man, the heart is in the head. The heart mind is happening. The blood is rushing to the head. So there is your water energy. And hanging from the tree, which is potentially a wand, but also is rooted in earth. So all 4 energies are here. I think the earth is what's not getting emphasized. Fire is getting emphasized. There's this sense of solar energy here, the sense of sight, of, you know, we definitely get the third eye with the Hanged Man. Again, heart-mind connection. What is this saying? As a sort of final instruction, or maybe warning, or what have you? For me, when the Hanged Man comes up at the end of a reading like this, it's usually telling me it's not time to climb down off the tree. Stay watchful. There's more mystery coming. Maybe you haven't seen it all yet. So watch for it, look for it. There's more to come. There's something more needed, something maybe we haven't quite seen yet. And there's a sense here then of the heart mind being what can see it. I don't know what that is, for me or for anyone else. I think that it definitely has something to do with the earth energy, because that's what's not visible here, right? The earth isn't visible on this card. So this whole reading has been about drawing the fire down, negotiating with the air and the water and the air, and grounding something into place, into earth energy structures into place. And there's a sense that we're still there, but we're getting close. The 8 came out of Wands, came out earlier. Something, oh, here, actually, it was on the bottom of, yeah, that's true. We should be looking at this. It was on the bottom of the other deck, the Wild Unknown Tarot. So there's swiftness here. There's something coming, something quickly. Be ready for it. Be watchful for it. There's also a sense then of, you know, while you're hanging on that tree, keep your eyes open, the eyes of your heart mind. And that leads us back into temperance energy, right? Balances, the balance of energies. All right, so hope this has been helpful. Again, I'm available for for readings potentially if that is needed, desired. There'll be ways to get a hold of me in the video description as usual. It's a little different of what I've done in a while, but it was what was led into. Really, since yesterday, I kind of knew this was coming. So, yeah, I hope it was a little bit helpful. Again, keep that heart mind open. Don't get drawn into the illusion that it's all an illusion. Go out and live. Interact with the world that you're in, with the people in it, with the structures in it. You can change things. Things change slowly in the earth energy. That is perhaps the biggest challenge, is being able to see how the fire is coming down, how the water energy and the air energy are being negotiated, and how that earth energy, how those structures are shifting. But they are shifting. There's signs all around us. And my guess is if you're watching this and you've watched to this point, you're seeing that, or you're about to see it. You're about to know it, which is what the heart mind is about. The heart mind is about knowing, which is not the same thing as having a thought. It's about knowing in the sense of knowing in the moment and continuing to know, and to know more and more and more. It's not about facts and figures stored in the mind. It's experience. It's lived life. All right, so much love and peace to you all, and all the light you can stand. Sending it your way right now.